Welcome to the next instalment of our webinar series, looking at the power of flexibility in your space with our flexible conveyor range at FMH Conveyors. We'll start off by having a look at the complete solution. So this is an overview of FMH product, mainly our flexible conveyors, combined with our Best Connect product, our Motion 06 range, along with some third-party loaders as well. So here you can see the flexible conveyors being used for an inbound and outbound operation, as well as integrating with other pieces of equipment. Let's jump into having a look at some of the industries and applications where flexible conveyors can be used. Airports, distribution centres, e-commerce, parcel post, retail stores, third-party logistics, tyre handling, wine and spirits, manufacturing and packaging. Just a handful of the more common applications and industries where you would see these conveyors utilised on a day-to-day basis. Let's have a look at some of the flexible conveyors. What is a flexible conveyor? Flexible conveyor is a self-contained piece of material handling equipment with the ability to bend and shape to virtually any operational requirements. Some of the variants: we have gravity flexibles and powered flexibles. We're going to jump into having a look at some of our gravity flexibles. Our Best Flex 200 and our BFR, so skate wheel and roller. We'll start with the BF 200. So the BF 200 is a lightweight, flexible gravity conveyor. Its skate wheel roller surface gives a versatile platform for most gravity-fed operations. Some of the key features include self-tracking functionality, 300 kilograms per meter loader capacity, intuitive expansion operation, hand adjustable conveyor height, robust brake casters, and an array of width options. Some of the key specifications of a BF 200. So expanded length, anywhere from 2.5 to 20 meters in a single length, but by utilizing the physical connector, the roller stop connector, you can go for as long as you need to. So you can add 2, 3, 4 units together. And all of our flexible conveyors are available in the same width ranges: 450, 600, 750, and 900. With the BF 200, there are 3 different types of skate wheel that you can choose. So you can go with a blue skate wheel, black plastic skate wheel, or a steel skate wheel. Really depends on the product you're moving, the length you're looking to go over, the decline, the speed you want your product to run at. Plenty of different options to discuss with our expert sales team. Some of the performance options on BF 200. The package stops, reduced axle centers to allow you to move smaller product. Perpendicular legs, keeps the legs vertical in both the expanded and compacted positions for easier mobility and added stability. Side guide rails to prevent product from leaving the side of the conveyor around tight turns. Heavy duty casters, and the skate wheel variants, as I touched on just. That's our BF 200. Let's jump into our BFR. They're a very, very similar design, just with rollers rather than skate wheel. So what's different? So the BFR allows us to handle odd-shaped boxes, bags, low-grade cartons. Once again, self-tracking, slightly lower load capacity at 220 kilos per meter. Hand-adjustable height, again, robust brake casters, and once again, that array of width options. So some of the key specs on our BFR. Same lengths as the BF 200, so anywhere from 2.5 to 20 meters in a single length. The same width range, the same roller pitch range. They use 40 millimeter steel tube rollers. And once again, you can connect as many units together with our roller stop connector as you need to. So jumping into the performance options on our BFR. So package stop, reduced axle centers, perpendicular legs, all the same as the BF 200. We have side guide wheels on our BFR, so it allows the boxes to move along smoother. Heavy duty casters, and once again, the roller stop connector for connecting 2 modules together. Let's have a look at some of the applications for our BFR and Best Flex 200 applications. So some of the primary applications where you would typically see these products: within distribution centres, third-party logistics, e-commerce, retail stores, parcel post, and manufacturing and packaging. just some of the main areas where these products see the most benefit. Secondary would be the wine and spirits industry, and slightly more uncommon to see these products within tyre handling or within airports. Then we move on to the powered side of our range. So the powered flexible conveyors, we have our PF15, our PF19, and our PowerFlex SmartFlow. So we'll spend a bit of time just running through the key details on each of these individual products. Start with the PF15. So the PF15 provides maximum productivity in shipping, transportation, and packaging applications where usability and adaptability are most needed. Some of the key features: the PF15 runs off a 230-volt power supply using reliable DC motor drives, has a carrying capacity of 150 kilos per linear meter when level. It has intuitive expansion operation, the same as all of our flexible conveyors. A standard height of 8 to 1100 millimeters, but this can be adjusted depending on what your application needs and what your running height needs to be. And robust brake casters every other leg. We have the same width options on our PF range as what we had on our gravity range, so 450, 600, 750 and 900 millimeters. And the PFs are power and noise efficient. So what are the specifications? So some of the base technical data: expanded unit length of 0.6 up to 20 meters long in a single length. This is dependent on the roller pitch. So the lengths shown there are dependent on a 127 roller pitch. If you reduce to a 102 or 76 mil, so that ability to handle smaller packages, it does reduce what the overall length of one conveyor could be. This is because we can only run a maximum of 16 DC motors off of a single 240 volt power supply. However, what you can do is either go up to a larger power supply, or we can combine multiple units together. They're fabricated from 40mm ribbed aluminium construction side plates, 150mm brake casters on the PowerFlex every other leg, multiple DC drives, 90 watt, 20 to 120 volt DC, and they run using 5mm polycords with an 85 Shore hardness. Standard running speed is 5 to 36 meters per minute, controlled by an onboard speed controller, which also gives you directional controls. So all of our PowerFlex conveyors are bidirectional as standard, and running off a 230-volt single-phase 50 Hz power supply. Let's jump into our PF19, the PF15's bigger brother. So it takes the innovative design and functionality and adds another level of robustness, a feature that can be critical in warehousing operations. So once again, running off 240-volt power supply, reliable DC motor drives, the same 150 kilo per meter carrying capacity, and the same standard height of 800 to 1100. However, once again, that can be typical to your application. The same width, 450, 600, 750, 900, and power and noise efficient. Have a look at some of the specs. So the same length from 0.6 up to 20 meters long, depending on the roller pitch. Same widths, using a 50mm roller on the PF19 rather than a 40mm on the PF15. Slightly bigger side plates, leg fabrications and casters all give that added level of robustness that some applications may require. We're still using those multiple DC drives, one every 10 rollers, and we're still using the same 5mm polycords. Once again, the variable speed, 5 to 36 meters per minute, controlled by the onboard speed controller, which gives you that bidirectional functionality as well. So you can utilize these in both a loading, unloading, or A to B scenario within your workspace. Running off a 230-volt single-phase 16 amp hours. So let's have a look at some of the performance options for the PowerFlex range. We have the impact loading table. Fabricated steel side frame, braced throughout to create an impact loading section, designed to handle the increased abuse and wear normally associated with the loading point of a conveyor. So we all know that in our warehouses, you have boxes coming down quite heavily on the front end of a conveyor. This is designed to absorb that impact, in turn prolonging the lifespan of your product. Axle sensors, so reduced axle sensors, as we touched on before, 127, 102, and 76, depending on the size of package that you're looking to handle. We can incorporate flow control into our PowerFlex conveyors. So looking at the photo cells to provide an automated solution, giving the user improved ergonomics, reduced labour costs, and an improved service life on the conveyor as well. Side guide wheels prevents cartons from running off the edges of the conveyor. Heavy duty casters and a roller stock connector, allowing you to easily connect either PowerFlex conveyors with gravity conveyors, PowerFlex conveyors with each other, or with other products from the FMH portfolio or other manufacturers' equipment as well. Have a look at some of the applications within our PowerFlex range. So typically they're suited for truck loading, unloading, use in distribution centres, packaging, mobile assembly lines, shipping and receiving. So that leaves them with the primary objectives of being used in distribution centres, third-party logistics, e-commerce, parcel post, manufacturing and packaging. Secondary usage would be airport, wines and spirit and retail stores. And once again, for flexible conveyors, quite uncommon, but not unheard of in the tyre handling industry. So just jumping into what is flow control. Flow control gives a conveyor intelligence. Using the optical electrical sensors, the conveyor can transport delicate shipments around warehouses in the knowledge they will be kept in a separated, organised and efficient flow. We'll touch on it very briefly at the end of the presentation, but you may have seen the webinar a few weeks ago from Martin Kingston, which goes into much more detail around what flow control is and what flow control options we have available. Just in case you haven't seen it, here's a high-level overview of the types of flow control that we can offer. We have zero line pressure with a singulation release, zero line pressure with a train release, build back, die back, package stop, and smart flow and indexing. So just to touch briefly on smart flow is a combination of all of the above on a single conveyor. So that allows it to have multiple uses, multiple applications. You can easily select through either a toggle switch or a push button control which function you wish the conveyor to operate at, and it allows multiple uses of the conveyor within the warehouse environment. Let's have a look at some of the USPs behind our flexible conveyors. So we've got a full lightweight design and construction using the extruded aluminium frames. It gives us that lightweight feel, the ability to move them around the warehouse very easily, means that using them across multiple dock doors or multiple areas within the warehouse within a shift is perfectly feasible with our design. The DC motors, so low voltage, very safe, very easy to maintain. So that's a huge benefit for anybody that's using these conveyors. We are the original designers. So in 1994, Best Conveyors originally began manufacturing the gravity conveyors over in the UK. And then we grew on that range and brought the PowerFlex in as well. So we were the original designers of the flexible conveyor. All of our conveyors are bespoke for your application. So our sales team remain available to come out, have a look at your site, have a look at the operation, and help you build a conveyor which will ultimately serve its purpose best within your business. Fast deliveries. So typically our delivery time started around 3 weeks for the gravity conveyors, and depending on the complexity of the project could go up to sort of 6 to 8. But have a chat with the sales representatives, they'll be able to give you a really good idea of what the lead time is on the conveyors you were looking at. And that's really an overview of our flexible conveyors. So it's time now to jump into a couple of questions that have come in. Okay, so question number 1. What makes your flexible conveyor solutions stand out from the competition? Well, I think the easy answer there is what was on the final slide we just looked at. So the lightweight design using the extruded aluminium gives it multiple purposes around the warehouse. It makes it very easy for your associates, operators to move the conveyor around. And I think the other key thing is being the original designers of the flexible conveyor. Gives us that experience, that knowledge, that know-how of knowing what our customers expect from our product, what they expect from a flexible conveyor, and us having the expertise to tell you exactly which conveyor is best for your operation. Can you customize the conveyor width and length? Yes, so standard widths, as we touched on, were 450, 600, 750 and 900 wide. The lengths range from sort of 0.6 up to 20 meters in a single length, but you can combine as many as you like. So realistically, the conveyor can be as long or as short as you need it to. How easy is it to integrate your conveyors into an existing production line? Yeah, it's fairly straightforward. So we offer anchor frames, which would fit at the end of your current production line, which gives you a fixed point to connect the flexible conveyor to. And working with our controls team in-house, we can integrate your existing conveyor system, with our flexible conveyors. For example, linking the emergency stops or linking the start stops, ready to receive signals. So really, it's however you want to integrate. We can use the functionality of the PowerFlex to make that happen. How quickly can a flexible conveyor system be set up or reconfigured? Okay, so setup first of all, very, very straightforward setup. With the roller stop connectors lift up and drop mechanism, you can pretty much wheel them off the back of the truck, take all the shipping packaging off, get them in position, plug them in and press start, and you're away and using it. And the same for them being reconfigured as well. It's just disconnecting them, unplugging them, moving them to the new place, and then you're ready to go. That's all the questions we've got in so far. Any that we don't answer, we'll answer directly to you. Really appreciate you taking your time to watch this, and any questions, please feel free to reach out to our sales team. Thank you very much for watching.